you gonna stop bleeding for one day and then bleed again the next day? Please make up your mind. I can't have this back and forth. Hey guys, it's Sharon. Welcome back to my channel. I just want to address the elephant in the room. My posting schedule has been all over the place. Again, I just had sinus surgery, so I am struggling. Some days are better than others. Today, I feel like but I just want to let you know, I'm still here, I'm still kicking, and that's what matters. My videos may come a little late, but they're still coming. And my period may come a little late, but I'm still getting it and currently on it and still hating everything. Which, speaking of, you know I love reading like super generalized articles about girls. Like, all girls do this. I like judging them and seeing if they're pretty accurate or not. So I found an article. It's titled 35 Secret Things Most Women Have Done on Their Period But Don't Talk About It. I talk a lot, especially about periods. So this is gonna be fun. If you wanna see more videos like this, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications, and check out my playlist, Only Girls Understand, for more episodes. So go grab some snacks, some tea, some pads, and let's get right into this. Number 1, inspected a blood clot on the toilet after wiping. And then number 2, I'm just gonna read it because it just continues. And examined a tampon after taking it out. So this really could have been just condensed into one thing, and it's basically just examine your period blood. And honestly, yeah, and I'm not afraid to admit that, and I'm not afraid to talk about that. And you actually should be doing this. You should be examining what's coming out of your body, because that's how you know if your body is doing what it's supposed to be doing, or if it's doing something that it shouldn't be doing, and maybe you should go get it checked out. I remember my first blood clot and I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't know my vagina had bloody boogers, because that's essentially what they look like. I'm not gonna say are, but it's exactly what they look like. So I mean, yeah, we should all talk about this. Go tell your friends to make sure to always check their period blood. 3, gotten your pubes stuck to the back of a pad and had to rip it off. That sounds horrible. Luckily, that has not happened to me. How is that happening? Like, is the pad just shifting? Cause you know the sticky side of the pad. I have a reusable one, so this one doesn't have a sticky side on it, but like the sticky side is this. This is what goes on your underwear. Your coochie's here, so the pubes are here. How are the pubes getting under here? Unless the pad is like bent, flipped over, unless your pubes are that long that they're going down there by themselves. I don't know, man. This has never happened to me. I hope it never happens, because that sounds super painful. That literally just sounds like a wax, except with like no helping agent. You're just rawing it. If this has happened to you, please let me know. Now I'm curious. Layered up pads to make a pad nappy so that you don't leak in the night. So like layering pads to make a diaper? No, I've never done that. I've heard of the hack of taking pads and stacking them on top so you're at school, so you have a clean pad on the bottom and you can just rip off the dirty one. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that, just me personally, because if I'm wearing 2 pads, that second pad might not be bloody, but I'm still sweating if I were to sweat. Like if I just come from PE, there's still moisture and sweat down there that's getting on the clean pad. So I wouldn't do that. As for like making a pad nappy for bed, overnight pad, towel underneath, period underwear, reusable pads, these collect like 10 plus tampons worth of blood, but no, I haven't had to make a pad nappy. Flushed the toilet multiple times because little streaks of blood were still in the water. Absolutely, yeah. And not even because I'm ashamed or embarrassed that I'm on my period, just because I don't want the next person to see that. Not because they shouldn't know what a period is, but just because it's not their blood. I'd probably be a little bit freaked out if I saw blood in the toilet too. And yeah, I logically would be like, oh, someone's on their period, but I could also be like, oh my God, a murder just happened. And they left the tiniest bit of trace behind it. Felt a blood clot just plop out while you're on the toilet. No, I've never experienced that. Like usually they just like come out, and I have no idea that they come out unless I look and I see them. Other than that, I've never felt it plop out of me. That sounds like you got some big blood clots and you should maybe get that checked out. If your blood clots are huge, like huge to the point where it feels like an egg just plopped out of you, you just laid a freaking egg in the toilet, you might want to check that out. I'm truly not a professional, but feel something plopping out of you like a baby? No, I'm good. Gotten out of the shower and left little blood spots on the floor before we've had a chance to put knickers on. Absolutely. Getting out of the shower is one of the most dangerous times for a menstruator because you have 2 seconds to put on a pad and put on your underwear or tampon, whatever you use. You got 2 seconds to do all of that. You're literally fighting gravity at that point. This is why what you do is before you get in the shower, you get everything ready to go. If you're wearing a pad, you stick that pad right onto your underwear, leave that underwear with the pad on right by the shower door. So honestly, you could either just put it on after you've dried yourself in the shower or immediately step out and put it on. And that's how you avoid the 2 seconds of stress. Oh, and then this continued, had to do a mini run to grab your underwear. So yeah, so you avoid that by putting your underwear right next to when you come out of the shower. You're welcome. Smuggled a pad or tampon up your sleeve on your way to the bathroom. Yup, all throughout middle school especially. And this is like one of the reasons why I make these period videos is because like you shouldn't be doing this because you don't have to. Periods are natural and there's nothing to hide or smuggle about a period. Like you shouldn't be ashamed to walk around with a pad in your hand or a tampon in your hand. At this point, I don't give a shit. If someone sees me with a tampon in my hand, so be it. You know I'm bleeding. What's it to you? So don't be embarrassed to hold one, but I was definitely embarrassed at one point or another. I was like 11, dude. No one's really period confident at that age. And if you are, good for you. I'm so proud of you. And that's what I hope to make you feel. Sat and wondered if you've leaked or if your butt is just sweaty every day of my life. I live in Florida. It is a constant struggle. Is it swamp ass or is it period blood? Swamp ass is when you got a really sweaty butt and it just feels like a swamp. So just Florida things. What's worse is when it's both. Cross your legs while sitting down to try and stop the flow. Yes, always. And it's like that painful cross where you're just like praying and begging your uterus to just please stop flowing and your legs are like, listen, dude, we can't do this. You literally cannot stop your period blood from flowing unless you decide to like flip yourself over and work against gravity. It's just if it needs to flow, it'll flow. The second you flip right out, comes out. Constant torture. You can never win. Stood up and felt the full force of that flow anyway. Absolutely. And in the mornings, I hate that stupid penguin waddle. The mornings are rough. Cause like for me, it's like some days I'll wake up and just immediate. I just know it all fell out of me. But I'm trying to hold it in cause you know, I don't want it to come out the sides. I don't want my pad to overfill, whatever reason. So I will literally cross my legs as I'm standing and attempt to penguin waddle at the same time. It's like an Olympic sport. They actually should add that to the Olympics. Pooed way more than normal thanks to those notorious period. Yes. And then it continues and says, or the opposite, and been stopped up for a few days. I know I'm getting my period when the week before I cannot poop, and then the week of I poop every day like it's my job, like I'm right on schedule. Period poops are a thing. I don't know if it's like the hormones or something. It's literally scientifically explained. If you poop a lot on your period, it's normal. It's okay. Wiped after pooing only to see more blood than poo on the paper. Yeah, dude, actually. Every time I wipe, I'm like, there is no poo. It is just blood. Should I be concerned? I'm like, is this all coming from my coochie or is my butt bleeding too? Oh, I love being a girl. And to think that boys don't even know that we poop. Wow. Waddled like a penguin when you woke up because you had a pad full of blood every freaking morning without fail. Do penguins get periods? Do penguins get periods? I don't think so, because I can't find a single thing that mentions a period and a penguin in the same sentence. I'll be damned. I wish I was a penguin. So if I'm reincarnated, I'm coming for you, penguins. Ask someone to check the back of your clothes for leaks or try to do it yourself in vain. Yes. And all you have to say to anyone that bleeds is just, can you check me? Not even that. You can just say, check me. And they automatically know what you're talking about. And if they don't, you just got to give them a little time to process and be like, check me. And point back there and like, yes. And I hate the feeling of thinking you've leaked through and you go to check and you haven't even bled. I can't explain that feeling. It doesn't make sense to me. And it happens so many times. I'm like, okay, so if I didn't bleed, why did I feel like I did? What was that? I'm having a ghost period. I hate it. No, that paranoia of leaking period underwear, y'all. And period pads, of course, reusable period pads. This holds so much blood, so much blood. I don't worry about leaking anymore. Used toilet paper as an emergency. Yeah. Oh my God, if you haven't, like, yet, you have haven't yet. Every single menstruator at one point or another has had to use toilet paper because they didn't have period supplies. So a fun little life hack for this. Anywhere that you frequent, put period products there. Your locker, your desk, your car, your bag, whatever. Put period products in there, even in your hoodie's pocket. Because listen, better safe than sorry. Sometimes outflow just shows up unexpected and suddenly you gotta give her a place to stay for a week or more or less if you're one of the lucky ones. Not been able to tell the difference between period pains and I need to pains until the last minute. Yeah, sometimes. Like sometimes my period is really rough where I will wake up in like the middle of the night and my cramps are just so bad that I will have to sit on the toilet with a heating pad just hoping that it goes down, whatever demon is inside of me comes out, and it's horrible. It truly is, but it's always period pains. It always comes back to period pain. It's actually probably caused by period pain. Worn a pad or tampon a bit longer than you really should. Yeah. And like I really think this is circumstantial. Like maybe you don't have others to switch into. Maybe you weren't able to find a bathroom. And I get that, and that's okay. It happens. I think if it happens once or twice, it's no big deal. If you're doing this often, then it's a big deal because then at that point you're purposely keeping this possible bacteria on your coochie and you can get infections and you don't want that. And aside from that, there's also TSS, which is toxic shock syndrome, which is a really rare, life-threatening bacterial infection. And TSS is mainly associated with tampons, but here's a not so fun fact for you. Anyone can get TSS. TSS is a bacterial infection. It is not caused by tampons. Men can get TSS. Kids can get TSS. You can get TSS while wearing only pads. Sometimes it's circumstantial and you have to wear one product for longer than you should, but don't do it often. Trust me. Felt weirdly satisfied by seeing the blood wash away when you're in the shower. Yeah, this is gonna make me sound super weird, but like when I'm in the shower and I see the blood going down the drain, I'm just like, this would be a great shot for a horror movie. Like, did I just kill someone? Was I the victim? Am I washing away my blood? Am I washing away someone else's blood? We don't know. Stay tuned to find out in this wonderful new horror movie. Maybe I watched too much Criminal Minds. It's giving me psycho shower scene. Tried to subtly rearrange your pad, but it looked like you're pulling out a wedgie. Yeah, and I don't care. My pad is bothering me. I will fix it, shift it, try to move it, nudge it, and whenever. I care about my comfort. I don't care about some dude that's walking down the street, seeing me pull out a wedgie or trying to fix my pad. I'm never gonna see him again. He does not know me. I do not care. I'm gonna put my comfort first and I'm gonna pick my wedgie / pad. No shame. And for me, it's more of like, here, I do this. I'll be like this, and I'll be like, huh! And I have no shame. I don't care. You shouldn't either. Had blood move up towards the back of your butt and wondered how the it got there. I mean, if you're laying down, yeah. That's the only time I ever really get blood on my butt is when I'm like leaning back or laying down because it's obviously flowing down from your vagina. Like if I were to just sit like this all day, yeah, my blood would go back there. That's just, it's gravity. That's how gravity works. Been moved to tears by something slightly inconsequential, like finding out a show you were planning to watch was taken off of Netflix. I know when my period is coming when I just stare at my dog Fluffy and I just get teary-eyed and I'm like, oh my God. There was one time when I was just looking at puppy pictures and I was just sobbing and I was like, they're so cute and they're so innocent. I was like, damn it, my period is coming. It's those hormones, dude. Like they are no joke. Experience the full spectrum of human emotions within the space of a few hours. Yes, literally. It's scary. I would kill to see men with periods. That's right. All the emotions you never felt, you're gonna feel all of them in an hour. Dreaded the second and third days of your period before they even happened. Yeah. My second and my third days are usually like my heaviest days. You know, it's really not that bad. Again, ever since I started using like reusable products, which by the way, I'll actually product tag these for you. I recommend using the brand Hannah. I love KT by NYX. Lola has some really good like organic disposable products. I'll tag a bunch of them. Ever since I started using like cleaner ingredients and reusable ingredients, I don't know if it's made my periods better, but it's definitely made my life easier. This holds so much blood that I don't really have to worry about a heavy period, if that makes sense. Like, am I still bleeding a lot? Yes, but it's not that stressful or annoying to deal with when I feel more secure having a product that's gonna collect a lot of that heavy blood. If I was still using disposable pads and had to go through like 4 pads in a day, then yeah, it would be more stressful, if that makes sense. Panic that you already have a tampon in when you put in a new one. Listen, yeah. This one time, this just goes to show that your vagina really is huge. I mean, yeah, we can pop kids out of there. I put in a tampon and I forgot I put in a tampon. So when I went to go use the bathroom, I noticed that like blood was coming out. So So of course, that's usually a sign that you should change your tampon because your tampon is full. For me, I took that as a sign of, oh my God, I forgot to put in a tampon. I gotta put in another one. I put in 2 tampons at once. Not at once. I already had one in, and I put in a second one. It happens. If you do crazy stuff, weird stuff on your period, I truly can't blame you. I blame your period wholeheartedly. She is messing up your life and your body and your mind. I get it. Double checked every chair after getting up just in case you leaked on it. Oh my God, in middle school and high school, yeah, especially. Always school. But now, like, you know what? I don't even care. If I bled, I bled. I have left the seat. It is now not my problem anymore. That sounds horrible. But also you could totally play it off. Like if this were to happen to you and you're embarrassed, just be like, oh my God, I can't believe I sat in period blood. Ew, gross. Even though it was yours. Sometimes discreetly laid a cardigan or jacket down as protection against this. Yeah, of course. If I'm scared of leaking and I have an extra piece of clothing with me, or if there's like a newspaper around or something, I'll place it down and sit on it. I've gone as far as like using a plastic bag. I don't remember why or what situation I was in, but I definitely used a plastic bag to sit on in case I leaked through. No shame. And there's no shame in also being like, I'm doing this because of my period. I'm scared of leaking if someone asks. If you want to be more discreet about this though, you don't have to lay a cardigan or a jacket down, just wrap it around your waist. That is probably the oldest trick in the book. Worried about period leaks? Wrap a sweater around your waist. Adjusted your wardrobe to all dark colors from the waist down. So I already did that in general. I only just recently started wearing jeans again, but Miss Flo comes around, I will double up on underwear just to give me that that sense of security that my pad's not gonna move, shift even the slightest. I want her tight and I want her there where she's supposed to be. Sometimes I'll put on, like if it's cold, put on leggings instead. Double underwear, that's probably my favorite one. So yeah, no shame, dude. Dark colored pants, always. What if you leak through and you're wearing white shorts? How are you gonna play that off? I sat in ketchup. Yeah, I haven't heard that one before. I mean, you generally could sit in ketchup though. Oh, it continues. And to anything that accommodates bloating. Oh yeah, absolutely. Why do you think I'm in my like loose lounge comfy pants right now? This? Come on now, 110%. When I am on my period, you will not catch me wearing jeans, let alone any tight clothing, because that is uncomfortable. Anything will make me feel bloated. Just breathing, I'm like, yep, I feel like a big balloon right now. You shouldn't be wearing tight clothing on your period because not only does it suck when you bloat, but it's also not letting you breathe down there. So if you're not breathing down there, you're only gonna create more of a funk down there for you. You know that period smell, that fishy smell? It's really just all that sweat and bacteria gathering up in your hoo-ha. So yeah, don't wear tight clothing. Be comfy, you deserve it. You're bleeding for a week. Felt slightly thrilled when the blood starts going brown because the end must be near. Yes, but also feeling that horrible sense of dread when you weren't bleeding and you start seeing that brown and you're like, she's coming. And the last one says, thought it was over, worn your nice underwear, and then started bleeding again. Every freaking time, dude. And I don't get it. How are you gonna stop bleeding for one day and then bleed again the next day? Please make up your mind. I can't have this back and forth. You can't leave and come back. You have already checked out. I've already given up your room to the nice underwear. The amount of underwears I have, actually no, I haven't ruined underwear yet. I think I've had maybe 1 or 2 pairs that I just bled in so much that the stains were just so hard to get out. But for the most part, my period stains typically and usually come out. And I'm talking like when I just leak in it and I'm not wearing any type of protection. Still just sucks, but such is life. Anyways, look at that. We did the entire article and guess what? I talked about all of it and I am not ashamed to talk about all of it and neither should you. I actually feel like these are all things we should talk about. Of course we should talk about periods in general. There's nothing that should be taboo about periods. Again, we bleed, we pee, we poop, we burp. Natural things we all do. No shame. Some of these things that are considered embarrassing or whatever, I do think we should talk about them because you might know something that could help me and I might know something that could help you and we could share our period hacks and save ourselves because we're all bleeding and we all deserve to feel our best while bleeding. So yeah, look at that. Not so secret after all, huh? But you know, that's also just me. I want to know if there was something on this list that you actively do or actively have done and something that maybe you think is just absurd. Whatever you're feeling, let me know in the comments below. Now, shout out of the day goes to Hannah on Instagram. Thank you so much. If you would like to be shout out of the day, just follow me on my Instagram and stay active. And if you would like to see more episodes of this, I recommend checking out my playlist, Only Girls Understand. It's where I react to TikToks and articles that apparently only girls are supposed to understand. I do think a lot of them are a little bit ridiculous, a little bit stereotypical, but what isn't? If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe and you turn on those post notifications. But all that being said, I hope you had a great 2022 and I hope you have an even greater 2023. I love you and I will see you soon. Bye.